let me ask you something. Who on earth is in authority over you, your congregation, and your community? Now, we might think of political leaders on the local, state, or national level, but what about business or economic leaders? What about spiritual leaders within the church or cultural or educational positions of authority? When we think of authority in those terms, we see how vast and how varied people in positions of authority can be. And you know what? Those people need prayers. In 1 Timothy chapter 2, starting in verse 1, Paul writes, "First of all, then, I urge that supplications, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgivings be made for all people, for kings and all who are in high positions, that we may lead a peaceful and quiet life, godly and dignified in every way." So let me get this straight. Christians need to pray in such a way that we are seeing the needs of others, specifically those in the various positions of power, and asking God to supply them, not with what they want, with what they need. And when we do this, we're also interceding for them. We're stepping into God's throne room before the Lord of creation, and we are standing between Him and those earthly powers, many of which they don't know Him, they don't recognize Him, and they don't understand Him. And that when we do this, we are being called to pray on their behalf. More than that, we're called to give thanks, to praise God, and to give Him thanks for them. Now, this is a priestly role we're being called to fulfill, and this is big. And while we might not be praying that all of their desires would be fulfilled, I think more importantly, we are praying that they would have what they need to rule in God's creation rightly. No matter how great or how small their arena of influence is. I think that this manner of praying would transform our prayer lives. Rather than requesting blessings for a politician that I like, or asking God, may his days be short and another take his office for the person that I disagree with, I would pray that all would be guided by sound counsel, that politicians, elders, executives, principals, that they're going to have the wisdom, the selflessness, the humility, and the strength to do what is right and to endure and lead in times of hardship. When my prayers spring forth from love, it makes it so much easier for me not just to pray for the people that I like and I agree with, but also for those people with whom I disagree. That it's through love that our prayers are able to transcend these narrow confines of personal allegiance and seek the good for all, regardless of the degree of power or their political or national allegiance or any other barrier that we might face. It's my prayer that by loving others through our prayers, that we would receive that blessing of a peaceful and quiet life that is godly and dignified in every way.